The purpose of these lessons is to show you the logic behind the most basic Chinese characters, beginning with the simplest pictograms, and later combining these elements to create more complex characters. This lesson contains 6 characters, 4 of which are again based on the character Tian in the previous lessons 73 and 74. The other 2 characters are either components or collocates of those other 4, collocates being the term for words often located together. Today's first and second new characters show 2 plots of land separated by 3 lines, emphasizing the well-defined, fixed nature of the boundaries between the fields. The addition of the person radical, 人, or more rarely the bone fragments radical, 带, indicates a body lying motionless, literally in a fixed position on the ground. At one time, these 2 characters were interchangeable, but in modern Chinese they have been differentiated. The version with the person radical means rigid, stiff, or numb. The version with the broken remnants of bones now specifically refers to the stiffness of a dead body, technically called rigor mortis. No need for a lot of examples of a rigid dead body, so here's just one phrase. 死而不僵, a body before rigor mortis has set in. It should come as no surprise that American English also refers to a corpse as a stiff, as in, the poor stiff was hit by a train. More useful is 僵 with the person radical, referring to stiffness in everyday situations. 滑冰的时候，我的手指头都僵了。My fingers became numb from the cold when I was ice skating. 吵架后，他生气地僵僵地坐椅子上。After their argument, she sat angry and rigid on her chair. 僵 can also refer to cold, strained, and awkward relations. 那几天，哥哥跟女友的关系有一点僵。The relationship between my brother and his girlfriend was strained for a few days. 本来很开心，直到他来，把话弄得很僵。Our pleasant chit-chat instantly turned awkward when he arrived. 僵化 means to become rigid, to ossify, or lose flexibility. 有时候，我的头脑完全僵化，构想出不来。Sometimes my brain becomes stuck, and I can't come up with any ideas. 若没有想象力，人的内心就会僵化。Without imagination, a person's inner world becomes fixed and static. If referring to negotiations, 搞僵 and 弄僵 mean the situation has come to a stalemate or a deadlock. 都是你大嘴巴把事情搞僵了。Your big mouth has brought the situation to a deadlock. 他因为顶嘴，跟全班的关系搞僵了。His backtalk has made for tense interactions with his classmates. Today's third character consists of a field, 田, plus a long-handled snare, or net, for capturing animals. It's pronounced fourth tone, B, B. As we learned before, the field, or plot of cultivated land, used as a verb means to hunt or grow crops. So this combination depicted the hunting or removal of animals on the land, at the end of which time crops could be grown there. The word end is important here because this character means to come to an end or to finish. And as an adverb it means completely or totally. Starting with its connotation of to end or to finish, the most common expression is 完毕。今天的解说完毕，有没有什么问题？ Today's explanation is finished. Are there any questions? 工作完毕，工人上车回宿舍去了。Their job completed, the workers got on a bus, taking them back to their dormitory. Next, we have a phrase meaning lifelong, or throughout one's life. 毕生, literally, to the end of one's life. 他毕生都在关心着我. He has been concerned for my welfare his entire life. 把真人真事拍成电影是我毕生的目的. Recording true stories on film has been my life's purpose. The fourth character in this lesson shows a man standing upright with first 4, then only 2 leather flaps protecting the body from blows and projectiles while engaged in battle. It's pronounced fourth tone. 借, 借. Since a warrior was sandwiched between pieces of leather, this character came to mean insert, introduce, intervene, and the shells of crustaceans or shellfish. 介入 means to intervene or become involved in. 你别介入这件事. Don't get involved in this matter. 父母口角时，儿女最好不要介入. Children should not interject themselves into arguments between their parents. 不需要中间人介入土地的买卖. There is no need to involve a middleman in a property sale. 我很少介入儿女的生活. I rarely interfere in my children's lives. 你介入这件事情的话，之后会有麻烦. If you get involved in this matter, you're in for trouble down the line. 介意 is an expression equivalent to English to mind or take offense, literally to allow something to insert itself in your mind. 外面凉，你不介意我关门吧? It's chilly outside. You don't mind if I close the door, do you? 这不是什么大不了的事，何必介意? It's nothing serious. There's no need to take offense. 因为你讲的是真话，我不介意你的指责. Since what you said was in all sincerity, I take no offense at your criticism. Today's fifth character combines 介 as phonetic with 田 to indicate the boundaries between farmers' fields. Also pronounced fourth tone 界, this character is used for any sort of boundary or demarcation between different areas, and serves as the translation for English scope, field, circle, or kingdom, such as the plant and animal kingdoms. 银行界 is how Chinese says banking circles, or the world of bankers. 界限 is a border or distinction between various parts. 他必定知道界限在哪里. He most certainly knows where the boundaries lie. 两者之间 不能划分出明显的界限。A clear distinction cannot be drawn between the two. 你必须跟那个人划清界限。You've got to make a clean break with him. In other words, break off all communication and interaction. 眼界 literally means one's field of vision or personal experience. It's usually found in one of three orders of magnitude. 开开眼界 打开眼界 and 大开眼界。那些是从小镇出来开开眼界的朋友。Those are friends from a little town who came to experience the big city. 那天我们可真是打开眼界了。That day certainly broadened our minds. 我的德国之行真使我大开眼界。My trip to Germany was a real eye-opener for me. 泰国的素食真叫我们大开眼界。Vegetarian food in Thailand was quite an experience. 这真是个叫人大开眼界的生日聚会。That was a totally different kind of birthday party. Our last character today, pronounced fourth tone 是 is often paired with 界 to mean the world. It's the number 30 written in different ways, one simply meaning 3 tens, 30, and another with an elongated final stroke to show continuation. In other words, a continuous period of 30 years, also known as a generation or a lifetime. Paraphrasing Thomas Hobbes, in ancient times a typical human's life was nasty, brutish, and short. 30 years short. Curiously, English world is strikingly similar in concept. We're meaning a man, and old meaning his age. We're old. A werewolf, literally man-wolf, still contains this ancient root related to virile and virility. Anyway, the normal Chinese expression for world is 世界, literally the 30-year boundary. 我外公的画像是世界闻名的。My grandfather's portraits are famous the world over. 他不再跟人来往，活在他内在世界里。He lives in his own inner world, cut off from others. 他是世界上最下流的东西。He is the most despicable excuse for a human on earth. 世界语 literally, world language, is the accepted term for Esperanto. 世界语大会开会时，现用世界语沟通。During the Esperanto conference, only Esperanto may be used to communicate. If 世界 means the world, 世间 acts as a sort of prepositional phrase. In this world, in this society, down here below. 这世间的人有没有一个可以信得过？ Is there anyone in this world that can be trusted? 人世间的君王也不能我行我素。Not even a monarch on this earth can do as he or she pleases with no regard for others. 道 means a path or way. So, 世道 refers to the way things go in this world, the times we live in. 世道本来就是如此。That's just the way the world is. 你在国外太久了，世道不一样了。You've been abroad too long. Times have changed. Things are different now. 这成了什么世道？ What kind of world has this become? 连街上小吃都有问题，这是什么世道？ What's this world coming to? Even street food is a problem. 在这个世道上，他没有要向上爬的念头。Given the current climate, he has no desire to get ahead. 问世 translated literally means to ask the way to this world, to come to this world. In other words, to begin to exist. Originally reserved for the date written works were published, 问世 has now expanded to include the time any product comes onto the market or becomes available for purchase. 我的小说要到下个月才能问世。My novel won't come out until next month. Or, my novel won't be on shelves until next month. 你拍的真人真事电影何时问世？ When will your film of actual events appear in theaters? Or, when will it premiere? 汽车问世有多久了？电话呢？ How long ago was the automobile invented? What about the telephone? 有创意的日本家电用品正要问世。Innovative Japanese home appliances are about to come on the market. 在世 literally, in this world, in English means alive or still among the living. 你爸爸在世的日子不多了。Your father doesn't have much time left. 那个财主在世的时候有什么作为？ What did that rich tycoon accomplish during his life? 在世 can be expanded to 活在世上 or 人生在世 as in these next four examples. 我想人活在世上的日子是太短了。I think our lives on this earth are too short. 人生在世不可能事事如意。One's life in this world will not always be easy. 人生在世是为了取悦别人而活吗？ Is our purpose in this world to please others? 我不明白，人生在世有何目的？ I don't understand the purpose of life in this world. 今生今世 literally, this life and this age. Translates simply as this life in English. 在幻想中，你是我今生今世的情人。In my imagination, you're the love of my life in this world. 今生今世，你不会听到我说你的不是。While I'm on this earth, you'll never hear me utter a reproachful remark in your regard. Now, after all that existential talk, we come to a more polite way to say a person has died. 去世。我昨天才听说他去世。It was only yesterday that I learned of his death. 人一去世，烦恼就一了百了。Once a person dies, their troubles are over for good. 他妈妈是在法国生他的时候去世的。Her mother died in France while giving birth to her. 来世 means the afterlife, the next life, or reincarnation, depending on your religious inclination. 守财奴光看眼下，不相信来世。A miser lives only in the present and doesn't believe in a life to come. 你相信来世我们会再重聚吗？ Do you believe we'll be reunited again in the afterlife? 来世是怎样？到最后才知道天主的伟大。What is life after death like? That's when we'll know the greatness of the Lord. Here are a few miscellaneous examples of 世. The first, 世系, meaning ancestral lineage. 从姓这个字可以看出古时候的女性世系。From this character can be seen the ancient Chinese custom of female lineage. 世仇 is a feud lasting generations, along the lines of Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet. 因为我们两家的世仇，你不能娶她。Because of the feud between our two families, you cannot marry her. 不问世事 is an idiom describing a person detached from society, who literally does not inquire of worldly affairs. 他过着称心、不问世事的生活。She leads a happy, contented life, oblivious to the outside world. And finally, another four-character idiom that's easy to translate, but otherwise difficult to explain. It's 不可一世, which means unbearably arrogant or insufferably conceited. 不可 is easy enough and means cannot or must not. It's the 一世 that baffles me and other Chinese people I've asked, regardless of their educational background. Does it refer to the person's arrogant attitude, or to our response to that attitude? My personal attempt at explanation is that the person feels he or she is so superior as to belong to another era altogether, far removed from us lesser beings. Either way, the original story from which it is extracted doesn't help. Chinese people tell me to just accept that it means what all the dictionaries say it means, insufferably arrogant, and stop trying to analyze it. Okay, so here are four perfectly useful sentences with 不可一世。他用不可一世的眼光看着我们。She eyed us with insufferable arrogance. 他如日中天，不可一世的日子早就过了。His days as an influential, extremely arrogant person are long gone. 他高高在上，不可一世的口气叫人憎恨。His holier-than-thou, insufferably arrogant tone of voice stirs up feelings of hatred in others. 他显出不可一世的样子，看着他的肖像。He admired his own portrait with an air of insufferable conceit. Here is our color chart with today's 6 characters. 借将将必是 and 借 Here's a recap from today's lesson. 1. 4 of the 6 characters in this lesson, again, are based on tian, a cultivated field, and the other 2 frequently accompany them. When heavy lines are drawn above and below 2 cultivated fields, the character jiang is created. In this character, the lines represent fixed boundaries between fields. This idea of clearly defined, fixed borders is then matched with the person radical to show a person lying as if fixed to the ground, stiff and possibly dead. The person radical now refers to physical stiffness, or, when used in conjunction with negotiations, it refers to inflexibility, stalemate, or deadlock. When a dead body stiffens, called rigor mortis, jiang substitutes the bone fragments, radical, dai, for the person radical. 2. Bi represents a net with a handle, used to catch and remove small animals from the fields in preparation for cultivation. The field element at the top represents both hunting and getting the land ready for growing crops. Only when both large and small animals have been removed can the land be used productively. So, bi refers to the successful completion of that process, which is its basic meaning today, to complete or finish. And as an adverb, it means completely or totally. 3. Jie is a pictogram showing a man with heavy leather flaps in front and behind to protect his body from blows and projectiles during battle. As he is sandwiched between the flaps, jie today means to insert, intervene, or become involved in a situation. 4. The Chinese have taken the number for 30, 3 tens, and added an extension to the final stroke to indicate a span of 30 years, which in turn is used to represent a generation or a person's lifespan. Pronounced shi, this 30-year lifespan pairs with several other characters to mean coming into this world, 问世, life here on earth, 世间, dying and leaving it, 去世, and moving on to whatever is next, 来世. 5. The combination of tian and jie is a character indicating the boundaries that separate one field from another, and eventually any sort of boundary or delimited area. The addition of 30-year shi, 世界, becomes the expression for the world we live in. Now you will find a short quiz on double, triple character, and longer expressions. Answer using only the characters learned so far. Thank you for watching and listening.